Shalom to the elect, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, Bashem Rechak Kodesh, and giving double honor to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, the great millstone, well, peace and salutation to the elect. Shem Al Mafin is a mapper from the great millstone Plaintables camp of Philadelphia. Got just a wee lesson. Hey, just some godly counsel and such. This is for those that are of the hopefully elect that's actually trying to, change their lives and upgrade their vibration, and come to the higher knowledge, which is within the truth in the scriptures. Okay. Now, you have it. This particular individual, I think he goes by a handle on Instagram, which I think it's like Motivate the Youth, or something like that, 215 or something. Motivate Youth 215, Mr. Philadelphia. And he had put up this video, which, I'm going to just place it right here. It might have been on TikTok too. Let's listen to it, and I'll just bring out just things in the spirit.
Come on, Philly. Come on, Philly. Come on, Philly. This place right here is on 22nd and Fox. Like 22nd and Tioga. I was up my old head hurt lip joint getting some.
So that's way down North Philly. Anything we talking about some 22nd and the Oga, which means a junction, I believe. Tioga. Go back to a Gadite name and such. Or Gadite, or so-called North American Indians and such. Today's date being, what is it? Today is the, what is it? The 13th, October the 13th, Monday. And they got it like Columbus Day, here in these days. But you have it, he was down North Philly. North Philly is a very, a lot of low income, Jake, lived down there, even though the fact they've been trying to gentrify a lot of the different areas to appease a lot of different, college students and New Yorkers that come to the place. But those areas right there, man, that's just straight up hood, north, deep north as I would call it, North Philadelphia. Okay.
Chicken, and I forgot to get something to drink, so I pulled over and I jumped out and I got in this drink. And I forgot to lip joint getting some chicken.
So the dude, what he had did is he went down north to the Chicken Man, which is Herc, which anybody know that Jake in deep north. He went down north, at the Chicken Man right here. Not to say that, hey, Jay can't eat no chicken. But that's for each his own. But they got a ducky block out there in north, and he must have got him some chicken from the particular Jake. Right here. It's on a ducky block, man. Dude is he running a straight up Jake business, man. From the muscle. And it's it's in as you can see, it's like you see them industrial buildings. You got like the old Tasty Cake buildings around there and everything. But he usually, you could see this particular individual. He go to the different Eagles games and stuff like that. And he he be selling the chicken and stuff. So this particular individual went down there, and I guess he got his chicken, and then he wanted him some juice and chips, which ain't nothing good in them corner stores.
And I forgot to get something to drink, so I pulled over and I jumped out and I got in this drink right here. This got to be the smallest joint in the city of Philadelphia.
But first of all, why would you go in a place like that? Like look how it look. You know, like look, the building is that building is historic. Okay, I built way back in the 1900s and stuff, man. If I get the location, I can get the build date. You know, 1900s. You know, a lot of these buildings might even be older than that. You know, look at the design and such. You know, but they still got little hole in the wall. You know, places where Jake run, or get stuff from that's run by, either the tribes of Moab or some Arabs in them, you know, Dominicans, whatever.
And foremost, it took me 20 minutes to get inside the store, and all I wanted was a juice and a bag of chips.
And then that's another thing with Jake with this juice and bag of chips. That's not juice. That's just sugar. Some artificial sweetened sugar water. Which really ain't even water. It's just a complete lab created thing. And a bag of chips. Just some pretty much genetically modified potato product. Laced. In some inferior petroleum product oil, that they give us. Okay. Then
all I wanted was a juice and a bag of chips. I was all the way over here.
This man grown, probably just in his 50s,
Over there, trying to get in the store. And when I got in the store, I realized, like, oh, you can't even move. First of all, you need an oxygen mat. You can't even breathe in this joint. Most of these stores, they don't care about us. They don't put no fan. They don't put no air. They don't put nothing. They're taking closets. They're taking closets in the city of Philadelphia and making them 24-hour stores.
Yeah, but that's all to destroy you, Jake. Okay? That's just going to continue to destroy y'all. That y'all want to go in there and stuff because, a lot of y'all, Jake, don't dare to go outside of these different neighborhoods, and then if you do go outside of the neighborhoods, it's not for that long. You want to stay where you comfortable at and stuff like that. So, you pretty much leaving yourself subject to a low vibration and low quality of service and such. I go in different places out northeast. They got the whole thing decked out, HVAC system in there. They got Elam in there. They got money, okay? not to be saying putting myself up on a higher level, but Jake, you got to learn to do that better and go to better places, okay? You can't leave yourself, subjecting yourself to just being low level, okay? Like, upgrade yourself, self-improve, okay? We go into our forefathers and such. And our forefathers definitely were upgraders, okay? The Lord blessed and furnished them with skill, and they would upgrade, okay? And you got to just come to the realization you can't be who you was, prior to, if you come to this knowledge, you can't be that same dude as these guys are, okay? These guys are not upgrading. They stand where they were and such. Even if, they get a little bit of notoriety or accolades and such, you still have guys that drive BMWs and Mercedes-Benz and eat McDonald's and Chick-fil-A and a lot of this low-level fast food, joints. And I just laugh. I'm like, dude, you getting all that money and, like, look, you supposed to be running like a Ferrari. You running like, a diseased cow, which is the same food y'all be getting. Y'all be getting processed food because y'all, as the Apostle Elder Racha would call y'all GMO babies, okay? Talking about some of you going to get some chips and a damn juice to eat with some chicken. And that's another thing with you, Jake. All y'all want to do is eat chicken and stuff. This is, this is why this place is languishing. I go on this GL Jupiter. This dude, Jake, I think his people might be from either like Cambodia or wherever, Southeast Asia. But, definitely Jake was there. And he definitely a Jake. You know, this dude going to these hood spots where Jake be, you know, been subjected to just to eat fried wings and fried wings, fried French fries or chips, chicken and chips. You know, as you want to say, chicken and fries and such. You know, and you know that's what y'all. That's all y'all want. You know, that's all y'all want. Like you growing up, you 55 years old, going to the John's and Kim's seafood. You know, with battered wings and all of that. And you wonder why you underperform. You wonder why you all clogged up. You know? Talking about they selling it. Like, dude, this is old news. Okay? We'll just keep going. I'll bring out a little bit of edification.
Like, the chips was so stale. The juice, it felt like the top was open. I think the top might have been open. I think somebody might have drunk it and then put it back.
That dude that was working in that stove, you know, and that's like that. Like even too, like you know, you don't know where these dudes getting their inventory. A lot of these guys getting EBT inventory, you know, or inventory that was just, you know, it might have been they done found out the inventory. You know, they can get some inventory for somebody. You know, it might have been sitting in somebody's basement on a cheap price, and then they could just sell it in the store. One time I went in there. In one of them, you know, regular corner stores, you know, as a worker and such, you know, I think we was working hard or something like that. And you having them dire emergency situations, you might go in there and such. I think I might have opened up one, and I already could tell it was messed up, if I'm not mistaken. And I was like, yeah, this joint through. It looked like it was already like molding something. And I'm like, yo, this is just like, what the hell is this? The other Jake gonna go back. The dude gonna say he don't understand. No comprende. We like, yo, what? This thing was already open and through and expired. And I think they be trying to change the expiration or cut off the expiration date off of it. But Jake could just drink it like it's normal.
I think somebody might have drunk this joint and put it back. This boy in the back, I don't know what he was doing in the back. I don't even think nobody was in there, first and foremost. And it's just a lot of 24-hour stores. These people are just leaving. And you know this is Philly. I'm trying to get in and out. I'm looking behind me.
Yeah, so you heard, like, this is Philly. You trying to be in and out. That's another thing about these cities. Yeah, you want to be in and out, man. You know, whenever you are doing your moves, whether it's at a high-class place or not, hey, I'm being in and out, man, especially in these last days, okay? Give you some movement in the streets. The scriptures got movement of being in the streets in the scriptures, all right? Counsel, all right? Let me get some of these scripture. All right, childish things. This is 1 Corinthians 13:11. It says, when I was a child, I speak as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. A lot of this going to these different corner stores, bodegas and stuff, that's as it going to childish, all right? Nepos, which meaning untaught and unskilled. You simple-minded, immature Christian. Yeah, immature follower of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You know, we are Christians, of course, being anointed ones. But, you know, y'all acting unholy. You know, we got to have a higher taste, okay, of discretion, of choosing, you know, things. All right? You don't choose to go to these low-level places and think you're going to get good things and stuff like that. These people are trying to hurt you in there. All right, you go in these places, they trying to give you, you know, vapes, you know, this is a different situation. You know, they trying to get you to, you know, the Black and Miles, you know, all of the garbage candies and, you know, all that nonsense. You know, you thinking things is healthy, it's not. Just cause these Jake out there, they eating what is it? You know, they're talking about eating some CBD gummies and stuff and thinking it's good for them and stuff like that. Like, Jake is just through out here. But metaphor for childish, untaught, and unskilled. All right, you got to get this skill from these scriptures, the knowledge from the men that are above you. All right, and you have to become a man. All right, having virtue. All right, with reference to age and to distinguish an adult man from a boy. You know, because there be boy stuff when you be going in these stores. You know, as a young boy, that's what you used to do as a young boy. You didn't know that stuff was hurting you. Now you know that stuff will hurt you. Okay? You wonder why Jake need to go to the dentist and why they got all these different gum diseases and stuff and all these different illness and ailments. Maybe it's because they have been neglecting their health. All right? They've been doing low-level stuff, going to low-level places. All right? Pop don't care about you a lot of times. He just there. You know? And Ishmael definitely don't care about you. You know, and Elon definitely don't give a F about you, man. Like I said, the places I be at, like I say, they over there, they not eating the same stuff as what y'all be eating. Okay?
I'm trying to make sure, I'm not beefing with no rappers or nothing like that. I'm trying to get in and out this joint.
Yeah, like why would you go to a place where if you beefing with somebody because of something you said, now they see you in that store, it's on site. You know, your enemies and stuff. So, a part of separating, as the scriptures say, I'm going to get that real quick. Now, this is just basic. Like, this is, I think it's Sirach 6. Let me see. Ecclesiasticus 7 or 6. Or 6 or something like that. Hey, friends, and separate thyself from thy enemy. Something like that. That's Sirach 6 and 13. It says, separate thyself from thine enemies and take heed of thy friends. Okay? Separate thyself from thy enemies. A lot of y'all, Jake, y'all still going to them same neighborhood places with them damn demons in there. Okay? You got to separate yourself, and that might be from moving away out of these different areas. You know, I have like my old neighborhood. I don't even really want to be in it. Okay? You know, and if like I said, if it wasn't for this truth, I wouldn't even be in Babylon, America. I've been left, you know, because I just don't like, this city and really the country. Okay, I want to I'm not dealing with this place. All right. But, yeah, man, take heed to thy friends, man. You know, your friends, they say love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Y'all going into these different stores, they trying to hurt you. They not your brothers. You know? Then you got the health food stores. Anytime you go to a lot of them places, a lot of those times, they trying to extract every dollar out of you, you know? So it's like you got to watch out. Remember, we take heed to every brother, you know? Brothers that supplant you.
Y'all got to stop doing that. Then you got all your plexiglass and your bulletproof glass. Meanwhile, I'm in the closet, which is a coffin for real. I can't even move. And then on top of that, you're going to give me an old juice and some old chips. So then I try to say, switch these chips and get me another bag of chips.
You'll get you another bag of stale chips. Like, dude, if the one bag, don't you think the whole bulk going to be off? Half them chips that y'all be getting already be off. You know what I mean? Like the company, they got some of these companies. I was just thinking about one of them, the Fam Juice. They had this juice brand called Fam Juice. You know? It was sugary as hell. You know, you could get it for a couple of dollars. You know, half gallon. You know, you had other little sizes too. But it's no longer around. I think you got Rap Snacks, but you had some of these different chip brands these dudes that bring up. And they no longer around, but when you open up the bag, they already taste stale. You know? Yeah, let me get that quality R.
But I'm trying to figure out why is the chips moving. I'm looking directly at the popcorn, and the popcorn is moving. So I don't know if he got mice running through the popcorn, but the chips, I'm looking at the chips, and they moving. So I said, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm not getting nothing from this store no more.
No more. Why would you go in there to begin with? Why the store say you do it laundry, but it's a store? He crazy, man. He don't care about nothing. Okay. You don't even know if that store is under the board of health.
Not to knock this business. I don't know who owned this building. I don't know, who it's owned by. I know
Dude, all Philadelphia, if you look at a lot of these different got code violation. Most of these different stores got code violations. Okay, open up deemed legal names. They open it up in. Inspectors come in, Illinois license inspection come in there and just shutting them down, man.
people from up north would know, but I'm just speaking in
You
general.
saying the people from up north would know.
With some of these 24-hour stores, the stuff that y'all selling is outdated. It's not good. Stop selling it and just keep up on your inventory.
How you gonna keep up on his inventory? He gonna sell what you buy. All right. It's get it how you live. That's how they living. Okay, you come in there, you buy, no refund sometime. Okay, buyers beware.
Understand what I'm saying? Keep up on your inventory, man. Some of this stuff is just crazy what y'all selling. But come on, Philly, come on, Philly, come on, Philly. Not to knock their business. I'm just saying my experience with this store right here on 22nd and
It's
Fox,
drawn?
22nd and Tioga. Come on, Philly.
It's garbage, yo. He just told us his stupid experience. All right, and Jake is stupid anyway, so that's why we need this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, so we wouldn't be stupid and make these stupid ass decisions. Because these heathen, whether they be Jake, that's in a heathen mindset, or these other actual natural heathen would take advantage of us. All right, so you got to get this wisdom. All right, that's all what it's all about. Without that gives and get understanding. Scriptures say, Proverbs 1:5, a wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel. So you will listen. All right. Simple as that. Okay, because if you wise, we gonna give you that good wisdom, man. Up your game. You shouldn't be that same dude from when you was going in these little stores getting them little sandwiches and stuff, the oodles and noodles. You got to change all of that, man. You be like, damn, they gave me stale bag of chips. Why are you even eating chips? Like, I mean, like some of this, like, crisp, like, come on, man. Like, that's not going to be nutritious for you. That's just going to mess you up more. And like I said, that's, like, I'm not saying to be over righteous, but a lot of them things is just junk. Go get you a burro or something, burro banana or something, and go fry that up or something like that. Get you some iron or something. But yeah, man. Let me get that. Let that business be quick. When y'all in the city where they talking about being in and out, that's actually scriptural. B times or something. Yo, this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 32 and 11. It says, "Rise up, be times. Get up early, man, and be not the last." A lot of these Jake, they don't wake up till 12. Tazaharium, it be like noontime. They just getting up. All right, then they going to get in the, like the cheese steak, the fried wings, rice and gravy. Brown gravy. The chicken wings, fried rice, salt, pepper. General Tso's. They ain't no General Tso, but they eating a General Tso. And they wonder why they messed up, man. It says, but get thee home without delay, so be quick, man. Simple as that, man. Don't be sitting there tearing and stuff. Get on your move, man, especially with all this madness that going on there. This is lead a party at the right time. Never go be last to go. Don't linger at the door. Just go straight home. See what we got. it's not really. I mean, but yeah, man. That's basically really it, man. Y'all gotta upgrade, man. Get on this higher learning, man. Dude, mad over stale chips and stuff. Scripture say surely a person make a wise man mad, but some of y'all Jake not being wise. So you got Poppy. Like a lot of these different stores, I be shutting them joints down in the spirit. I put out a curse. I get a bad experience in certain places. I put up a curse, and the Lord shut that place down, man. And I'm not saying I'm not one of the ones that never been in these stores. Just from working and stuff, you might go in the store, look what's going on in there. You might go to maybe try to go in there and get a water or something in an emergency situation, and you might see a group of YNs in there. Elam is hiding the YNs. I shut the store. It's in the basement. I could show you a hole in the wall right now on something like Charles and what's that? Charles and wait, what's that? Bridge Street? Yeah, Charles and or Pratt. Charles and Bridge Street. You check out Charles and Bridge Street in Philadelphia. I'm gonna show y'all this right here. A hole in the wall. Alright? It is Smedley. It's a hole in the wall. You see this? This was a store. Okay? In a basement. Through. Okay? An Elamite owned it. This Elamite was so nasty, she seen us cleaning up, and she made more trash. I put up the Aurora, the curse. Hey, that business is no longer there. Some of these places never get better though. Okay? Do you want to be like that where it never get better? You go over there, you clean up and do different things in these neighborhoods. Look at what Jake is normally living up in. Okay? Because like I said, I deal with dealing with these communities and stuff. You see all the decay everywhere, But Jake got to do better, man. Hey, try to upgrade yourself, self-improve. We out of here anyway, but these areas be nasty. Piss everywhere, urine, smell, everywhere. Harlots running about. Nobody care about cutting their grass and lawn to make it look good. Corner stores where they doing this madness. But that's it. That's all I gotta say for now. Shalom to you, like.